31. The first principle and axiom of the Kabbalah is the name of the deity translated into our version of the Bible, I am that I am. And it's got in the side notes here, Genesis 3:14. The first principle and axiom of the Kabbalah is the name of the deity translated in our version of the Bible, I am that I am. It's got here, a different wording to the ASHR prayer, which is translated into the nearest English equivalent by the native-born Aramaic speaker translator Victor in Alexander, this Old Testament, which basically said here, Asher here, different spelling of Asher though. So a lot of Jews out there, they come at us and say, oh, this is the grandson of Jacob or the son of Jacob. No. This is the way it's written. Okay, this is you have the Asherite or the Assyrian or Syrian name of God, which is Ashur, A-S-H-U-R, or Asher in the Greek because they don't have the S-H or shift sound. Okay? And a better translation is existence is existence, or I am he who is. In the Aramaic footnotes, it says is. 32. Eliphaz Levi Zahid, that great philosopher and Kabbalist of the present century, says in his Histoire de la Magie book, 1 chapter 1, the Kabbalists have a horror of everything that resembles idolatry. They, however, ascribe the human form to God, but it is a purely hieroglyphical figure. They consider God as the intelligent, living and loving infinite. An interesting thing here with this Asher is that he tells Moses, because Moses says, oh, okay, I'm going to go to the house of Israel, or the Israelites, right? And they're going to say, oh, yeah, because God said to me, tell them to talk to me, that Ahiyah sent me, right? So he says, oh, okay, so God, they're going to ask me, okay, if I talk to God, what was his name? You know, maybe they try to catch him up, trip him up, right? But maybe it's just normal and ask him, well, okay, what was his name? You know, we're interested, we want to know what his name is. So God said to Moses, you tell those people that Asher sent you. Yeah? And that will be his name forever, to the end of time, specifically for them, as he did with them and their Sabbath, their circumcision rite, etc. Okay? So they're bound to it for all time. Okay? So for them it's not nailed to the cross by Christ or anything like that. It's a covenant between them, the house of Israel or the Israelites, the Jews, etc., that they have to honour to the end of time. So you can't tell them, well, you don't have to do that anymore because you're a Christian. You know, they have to, because as we said in the scriptures, they're bound by a covenant. Okay? God has declared to them, to their forefathers, that's what they'll call him, and they'll have the Sabbaths and their circumcision rites to the end of time. Okay, so these people consider, these Kabbalists, they consider God as the intelligent, living and loving infinite one. He is for them neither the collection of other beings, nor the abstraction of existence, nor a philosophically definable being. He is in all, distinct from all, and greater than all. His very name is ineffable, and yet this name only expresses a human ideal of his divinity. What God is in himself, it is not given to man to know. God is the absolute of faith. Existence is the absolute of reason. Existence exists by itself, and because it exists. The reason of the existence is existence itself. We may ask, why does any particular thing exist? That is, why does such or such a thing exist? But we cannot ask without it being absurd to do so. Why does existence exist? For this would be to suppose existence prior to existence. Again, the same author says in book 3, chapter 2, to say, I will believe when the truth of the dogma shall be scientifically proved to me, is the same as to say, I will believe when I have nothing more to believe, and when the dogma shall be destroyed as dogma by becoming a scientific theorem. Get your head around that one. That is to say, in other words, I will only admit the infinite when it shall have been explained, determined, circumscribed, and defined for my benefit in one word, when it has become finite. I will then believe in the infinite when I am sure that the infinite does not exist. I will believe in the vastness of the ocean when I shall have seen it put into bottles. But when a thing has been clearly proved and made comprehensible to you, you will no longer believe it. You will know it. It's the difference. It's nice to have faith, it's nice to believe this and that, but you need to know it. I know it exists, I know God exists, etc., etc. Who said that way back? I think it was that Ray Higgins. 33. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, it's a Hindu holy book, it is said, I am immortality and also death, and I, O Arjuna, am that which is and that which is not. And there's a footnote indicated there. It says down the bottom, or which exists negatively. And again, chapter 9, and O descendants of Bharata, see wonders and numbers unseen before. Within my body, O Gudakesa, see today the whole universe, including everything movable and immovable, all in one. And again, Arjuna said, O infinite Lord of the gods, O thou who pervadest the universe, thou art the indestructible, that which is not, and what is beyond them. Thou art the primal God, the ancient one, thou art the highest support of this universe. By thee is this universe pervaded, O thou of the infinite forms. Thou art of infinite power, of unmeasured glory. Thou pervadest all, and therefore thou art all. 34. The idea of negative existence can then exist as an idea, but it will not be a definition, since the idea of definition is utterly incompatible with its nature. But some of the author's readers will perhaps say, your term negative existence is surely a misnomer. The state you describe would be better expressed by the title of negative subsistence. Not so, the author answers. For negative subsistence can never be anything but negative subsistence. It cannot vary, it cannot develop. For negative subsistence is literally and truly no thing. And therefore negative subsistence cannot be at all. It never has existed. It never does exist. It never will exist. But negative existence bears hidden in itself positive life. For in the limitless depths of the abyss of its negativity lies hidden the power of standing forth from itself, the power of projecting the scintilla of the thought into the utter, the power of re-involving the syntagma into the inner. Thus, shrouded and veiled is the absorbed intensity in the centerless world of the vastness of expansion. Therefore, the author has employed the term exto rather than substo. 35. But between two ideas so different as those of negative and positive existence, a certain nexus or connecting link is required, and hence we arrive at the form which is called potential existence, which, while more nearly approaching positive existence, will still scarcely admit of clear definition. It is existence in its possible form. For example, in seed, the tree which may spring from it is hidden. It is in a condition of potential existence. Is there, but it will not admit of definition. How much less then will those seed which that tree in its turn may yield? But these latter are in a condition which, while it is somewhat analogous to potential existence, is in hardly so advanced a stage. That is, they are negatively existent. 36. But on the other hand, positive existence is always capable of definition. It is dynamic. It has certain evident powers, and it is therefore the antithesis of negative existence, and still more so of negative subsistence. And it goes on, goes on. Okay, just a lot more. Okay, down to 40. Here's 42. This is still the introduction. Goes into great detail. goes through several numbers and explanations. There's quite a lot there. And he goes into the Sephiroth, also called the world of emanations, or the absoluthic world, or archetypal world, etc., etc. What's this? Microprosopus, the king of the Kabbalistic Sephirotic greatest Trinity, and the Son in his human incarnation in the Christian acceptation of the Trinity. Therefore, as the Son reveals the Father, so does IHVH, or Jehovah, reveals AHIH, Ehaya. 66. And ADNI, or Adonai, is the queen by whom alone Tetragrammaton can be grasped, whose exaltation into Bina is found in the Christian assumption of the Virgin. 67. The Tetragrammaton IHVH, or Jehovah, is referred to the Sephiroth. Thus, the uppermost point of the letter Yod, I, is said to refer to Ketha, the letter I itself to Chokmah, the father of Microprosopus, the letter H, or the supernatural He, to Bina, the supernal mother, the letter V, to the next 6 Sephiroth, etc., etc. And 4 secret names. And it looks like this is the end of the introduction. And it's still going. It's all these analogies, etc. here. Plates showing the formation of the soul. From Cliff Cliff's Mysteries by Eliphaz Levi Zahid. Quad superius, quad inferius, so this is the higher and the lower. The Book of Concealed Mystery, Chapter 1. Interesting. There's a lot of information there. Okay, this is supposed to be the Kabbalah corrected, according to the author. Wow, a lot of detail. The beard of truth. There is now followeth a description of the beard of Macroprosopus and its 13 parts, which are more fully described in the Idra Rabba. The beard is the influx which descends from the first Sephira through all the others and so forth. Okay, it comes down to in the cranium or skull, Golgotha, in Golgotha. In the New Testament, it's worthy of note that Jesus Christ the Son is said to be crucified at Golgotha, the skull, while here in the Kabbalah Microprosopus, the Son, as the Tetragrammaton, is said to be extended in the form of a cross thus, or as follows. In Golgotha, the skull, the text above says at the end of section 33 of Macroprosopus, and he also thinks this is a misprint of Microprosopus. Pretty mystical stuff. Would be easy to get your head around it. You have to study it and study it. Try to fully understand it. Maybe ask somebody that's into the Kabbalah, the Zohar, etc. What the hell does all this mean, man? Explain it. Book of Concealed Mystery. Goes quite deep. So, within this Kabbalah book, etc., the Christ, the Son of God, who is God, etc., is actually mentioned. Possibly because that one Jew converted that other Jew to Christianity. Maybe that's why. But this author says it's coming, he's corrected the original Kabbalah, so this person this Jew that became a Christian that then convinced this other Christian who converted, this other one was like anti-it, really anti-it, couldn't stand it. He realised somewhere along the way all of this, and through it he understood, or he realised that Jesus was within its writings as part of a triunity, or the triune, or the Trinity. That's what it looks like here. So then that would be one Jewish holy writ, or holy book that acknowledges the Christ. We don't know about the Kabbalists that are actually following the Kabbalah. If they're like, no. Well, yeah, okay, we're into that, we agree with that because it's written there, yeah, that's right. We're not too sure on that one. Interesting. Chapter 3, concerning the Ancient One or Macro Prosopis, and concerning his parts, and especially concerning his skull. And it goes on about the brain. Further concerning the skull of Macro Prosopis, concerning the membrane of the brain of Macrosopis. Here, forehead, the eyes, every part of the human body, right? Probably in relation to this macroprosopis, description of what he looks like and what these parts are, etc., etc. Here it's got Daniel 7:18, the hair of his head like pure wool. What's this? Also is written Daniel 7:18, the hair of his head like pure wool. There's no contradiction here, for the one is said of the supernal beard, but the other of the inferior beard, and there's a footnote indicated there. The hair and beard of macroprosopis is distinct from that of microprosopus. So there's a difference here. See the Book of Concealed Mystery, chapter 3:16.
Book of Concealed Mystery is the book of the equilibrium of balance. What is here meant by the terms equilibrium of balance? Equilibrium is that harmony which results from the analogy of contraries. It is the dead center where the opposition of opposing forces being equal in strength, rest succeeds motion. It is the central point. It is the point within the circle of ancient symbolism. It is the living synthesis of counterbalanced power. Thus form may be described as the equilibrium of light and shade. Take away either factor, and form is viewless. The term balance is applied to the two opposite natures in each triad of the Sephiroth, their equilibrium forming the third Sephira in each ternary. I shall recur again to this subject in explaining the Sephiroth. This doctrine of equilibrium and balance is a fundamental Kabbalistical idea. 30. The Book of Concealed Mystery goes on to state that this equilibrium hangeth in that region which is negatively existent. What is negative existence? What is positive existence? The distinction between these two is another fundamental idea. To define negative existence clearly is impossible, for when TT is distinctly defined it ceases to be negative existence. It is then negative existence passing into static condition. Therefore wisely have the Kabbalists shut out from mortal comprehension the primal An, Dim, the negatively existent one, and the An SVP, An Soph, the limitless. Expansion, while of even the An SVPAVR, and so for, the illimitable light, only a dim conception can be formed. Yet, if we think deeply, we shall see that such must be the primal forms of the unknowable and nameless one, whom we, in the more manifest form speak of as God. He is absolute. But how define the absolute? Even as we define it, it slips from our grasp, for it ceases when defined to be the absolute.